What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my new video. Today I'm finally getting a haircut because I think it's about time. My hair is a freaking mess. Yeah, I definitely need a new haircut. In today's topic, we're going to talk about diversification and how to allocate your time properly. So first off, you're in your 20s, right? Now you probably think you got a bunch of time on your hands and you got all the time in the world. But that's not the case. We're all gonna die someday eventually. And you and I and everybody else, we're along for the ride. But it's normal, it's natural to think that at this age, you think you're immortal. I've been there too. I've gotten cocky too. Like I thought I had all the time in the world. But thank God I woke up at 25 and I realized that the time is only limited. I'm gonna go meet my barber right now, get this haircut, and then I'm gonna continue on with the video. Just my luck, when I get out of the barber, it starts raining and it just messed up my hair. Oh well, that happens. You're gonna have to start writing down a schedule of the things that you are doing and the things that are taking up your time and what you're occupied with. Like, I'll share my story with you. Let's say, for example, a while back, I was juggling college, juggling MMA, weightlifting, girlfriend. So I was juggling 4 things and it took a toll on me. So I had to start figuring out what I had to cut out of my life. So on top of that, I had to take yoga classes too. I think I took it for like 4 months. So I was pretty much getting overwhelmed with my schedule, just having all these things. Now, I know a lot of us guys love Batman and we all look up to him. And we all go to this Batman phase. We're like, okay, we think we can take on the whole world. We think we can have all these things in our schedule. And nah, we really don't. Our time is very limited here on Earth. Oh wow, the sun's out. So yeah, this Batman phase that we all go through, it's fine and all, but if you're gonna try and occupy your time with a bunch of stuff, like So yeah, if you're gonna try and occupy your time with a bunch of stuff, like my example that I gave you, like what I went through, it's not very productive. You're better off cutting things out of your schedule so you can focus on the things that matter. That whole thing about multitasking, it's stupid, honestly, because we have such a limited attention span. Very few of us out here, we can actually multitask, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. Majority of the population cannot multitask. And keep in mind, going back to the Batman phase, we gotta take into consideration that this guy, even if he's a made-up character, but he's a billionaire, and he's got all the time and money in the world to do all these things in his schedule. Fight crime, be the CEO of Wayne Enterprises, and try to put on a facade. Like every time he hosts a party, he has to put on this facade of a billionaire playboy. Be a little bit more realistic with your schedule. It's good to look up to a hero, but try to be realistic at the same time. This guy's a cartoon character. He's a made-up being. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Modell's right now. I think I might buy a 35 or 40 pound dumbbell because I outgrew my 30-pound dumbbell. And when your muscle reaches a certain point where it gets used to a weight, you have to increase it. You have to stress the muscle, or else it's not gonna grow. Man, I'm about to cry right now. There's no more dumbbells. Man, I'm really disappointed. So I just asked if any of the branches have dumbbells, and none of them actually. That's depressing. I'm gonna have to find out if Dick's Sporting Goods has anything or any other gym store. Hey, so I had to go back home and take a shower because I had like hair residue all over my head, like little tiny hairs. If you're wondering what you should take out of your schedule, well, that's not up to me to decide. That's something you need to figure out on your own. I can't just pop into your window and tell you, oh, this is what you need to be doing. No, that's something you gotta work on. And if you're not sure what you should take out of your schedule, try to decide what is the least important thing in there. Like, let's say, for example, when I was taking yoga, I considered it essential personally, but I just didn't feel like it wasn't that important in my life, and so I had to take it out of my schedule. And it's not permanent. I just put it on hold. Maybe that's something you can do. Maybe you can find something that's not that important in your schedule, just put it on hold. Make it your goal to take up on it at a future date. A current example that I can use right now is my job. I mean, obviously everybody's work is essential, otherwise we would all be poor. Otherwise, I would be begging for money on the streets. Another example that I can give out that's taken up a lot of my time lately is researching companies. Like, I invest in the stock market, and researching companies does take a toll. It does take up a lot of my time. But I do it because I want to invest in safe companies that will give me a cash flow and are also resilient in an economic recession, like the one we're having, or similar to the one we're having. Also, reading books. Reading books, it does take up a lot of my time. And I'll be honest, some of the books that I read, they're just dumb boring. But I really push forward, and I have to, because it's for my own benefit at the end of the day. Like, some of these books, it just like, I know for a fact, if it didn't benefit me, I wouldn't even touch them at all. I'll be honest, some of these investing books, they're just dumb boring the way they're written. I wish some of the authors, they would write these books in a way that would bring enthusiasm. It's like I'm sitting in adult class and some old professor is speaking to me in a monotone voice. And lastly, my social life. Now, I'm not saying social life is not important. Obviously it is. We have to socialize. We're social beings. But lately, for the past few months, it hasn't taken up a lot in my schedule because I was immersed in other stuff. Now, maybe later on this summer, I might start socializing a lot more than what I'm used to. I might start going out a lot more. And what I'm trying to say, or the point that I'm trying to make of this video is, now that you're in your 20s, now is the best time for you to start learning how to allocate or diversify your own schedule. Because later on, you're not gonna have a lot of time. Either because you're gonna get lazy, your mind gets lazy, or a lot of responsibilities are gonna start popping up, whether you decide to have a family or whether you decide to move out and pay a mortgage. A lot of these things are gonna start taking over your own schedule. And by then, it's gonna hit you hard because you're not gonna be used to setting up a schedule for your own self. And this is something that it's beneficial if you start out early. If you set up a schedule early right now, if you start early now, it's gonna be a heck of a lot easier for you to set up a schedule in your future.